got 3 internship offers and 2 full-time job offers, all in the span of less than a year, and I'm an international student. First step before you even dream of applying anywhere is making sure your resume is updated. Look at the templates your school provides. Look online if your school doesn't have any. Look at Harvard Business School, for example. Just look for any school, especially their business school, and look for the resume templates. If you're an upperclassman, make sure that you put your graduation, not only the year, but also the month. If you have a good GPA, put that there too. At this stage, your resume should really only be 1 page. Decide on a maximum of 3 types of roles that you want to apply to, for example, product management, communications, and marketing, and make resumes tailored to all 3. For every different area you have, you need a different resume targeted to that area. Look through different job descriptions to see common terms, to see common skills looked out for, and have those demonstrated in your resume. But you don't need a skills section, except you have an extra language that you speak, or it's a technical language. So if you want to include the types of coding languages that you're familiar with, but you don't need any soft skills in your section. These should be demonstrated through your experience. You don't need more than 3 bullet points per experience, and each bullet point should be 1 line, no more. Make sure your resume is filled with action words, for example, managed, directed, collaborated. Google recommends the XYZ format, which is did this, through this, which produced this. That means you want to make sure that you can quantify it wherever possible. For example, I was a resident advisor, and 1 line on my resume: fostered relationships amongst 50+ residents each semester, mediating conflict and offering support. So now you know how to format the resume. There's the classic chicken and egg problem. Companies want you to have experience for the experience that you need. How do you get these experiences? I have an exam today. Wish me luck. Exam went well. Now, onto the matter of how to gain experience. Use the resources around you. You probably have way more than you think, and there are so many ways that you haven't thought of. Do you have a passion for something? Get certified in it. Start a business, start a club. Participate in events related to your areas of interest. For example, hackathons, case competition. Go to your school's career center or online to find these. For creative roles, make sure you include a portfolio on your resume, and for more engineering, technical roles, you might also want to include a GitHub link. Do an extra project in class, even if it's a class not required for your major, but there are some valuable skills that you could gain. Join clubs or organizations in your school, but not only join, apply for leadership positions in them. In terms of what clubs to join, have a healthy balance between careers/education related things and more passion/community related things. If both of them align, even better. For example, I'm a part of my school's African student organization, and I was on the exec board for 2 years. That was one of the experiences I talked about in interviews and from my resume. Side note, Paragon One has these externships where you can work for companies like Beats by Dre, and you get to do work, although it's often unpaid or there's a small stipend. This way, this is also something that's not an internship, but it's still good to list on your resume. This isn't sponsored, by the way. Do you have that one professor that you really enjoy taking their classes? Talk to them. Ask if they have the research lab. Ask if there are any projects that you could do. Work on it with them. Do research in their lab. And the last really good way to get experience is to volunteer. I'm hesitant on recommending this one because you don't want to just volunteer solely to have something to put on your resume. Also need to have something to talk about, because when it comes to volunteering, it's service, and you want to actually care about what you're doing. You don't have to be super passionate about it, but you at least want to care for the cause. Especially if you're volunteering with people, like you don't just want to use people's suffering to pad your resume. Choose your volunteering projects wisely. Okay, so now that you have a resume set up and you have the experiences to match, let's move on to what's the most important part of job searching. And no, it's not the application, but I do have my last class right now. Networking, and more networking. But how do you even do it? Go to as many job fairs as you can. Big ones like Afrotech, smaller ones that your school hosts, virtual ones, in-person ones. If there are any organizations you're a part of, go to fairs they host. Even the ones that you're not a part of, as long as they're open to the public, go to those as well. So now the big question, what do you do when you're at a job fair? If you can look at what companies will be there or the types of people that will be there, and I need you to make a list of the top 10 people that you need to talk to, or the top 10 companies you want to talk to, but in order of priority. So once you get there, I need you to go to the first person. What you're going to do is introduce yourself. I know this can be scary, but I need you to treat it as if they have job written on their forehead, and talking to them is like your ticket to receive this prize. But you want to make sure that it flows as naturally as possible. You do want to try and form a genuine, authentic connection with this person. If you don't take anything else from this video, because this is a good life hack, friendship hack, anything hack, ask about people. People want to talk about themselves. People want to know that you're interested. Think about it. You wouldn't want someone to approach you and just bombard you with information about them and what you can do for them, and keep asking taking and taking and taking when they're not giving you anything in return. So you have to show them that you're interested in them and also that you have things to offer. You're not just here to, especially at the large fairs, there are so many applicants that are going to these tables asking about roles that you have for me when internships will open up, but you don't just want to be one of those. You want to be someone who stays, who forms a genuine connection. It puts you in the smaller pool of people that they consider. When it comes to job searching, you don't want to be like everyone else. Okay, so what should you ask? The easiest thing is to ask about what they do, how they like the company, what their previous career path, any other roles that they've had, and if they have had other roles, ask about like the differences between these roles. You can ask how long they've been at the company, but make sure you don't stop there. Ask what has kept them this long, if it's a long tenure, what they majored in college. All these things are just general low-level questions. So if there's anything that stands out to you during this, or anything interesting, or any similarities, make sure to follow from there. Don't just have a list of questions that you're going down and trying to tick off. Once again, make it organic, make it as casual as possible while still maintaining professionalism, of course. For example, if someone asks about switching from a different industry or different career path, and these are two things that you've been considering, you tell them like, oh, it's so funny that you mentioned this, or it's interesting that you mentioned this because I've actually been considering marketing and project management. Which one would you say you've preferred? So what would you say the major differences are between these two? Why did you switch from one to the other? Would you ever go back to this? Would you say it was more the company or the team or the role? Always ask a question. Don't expect them to put in the work. Also, if there's anything about the company that you've seen in the news, especially if it's been positive, make sure to bring that up because it shows that you've done your research. Once again, you want to show that you're bringing something. You want to show that you're knowledgeable. The conversation at these doesn't have to be long, especially because there are probably other people that want to get to, but make sure that you're focused on quality when it comes to networking with people, because these are people. These are not just mere applications that you're sending off. Most importantly, after the conversation, get their email and send a follow-up email. At the very maximum, the day after. You don't want to leave it for longer because they're probably meeting a lot of people. They will forget you, sorry to say. I'd say the only exception, maybe if it was a Friday and you want to send it off on a Monday, but even then, why wait? Send it on a Friday, send it that weekend and they'll see it on Monday. But I do know that some people like to send things Monday morning so that they're top of the inbox. Another way to network is through LinkedIn. Send emails or connection requests. You can send these to recruiters of roles you've applied to, anyone doing a job you want to be doing, recruiters of roles you haven't applied to yet but want to apply to, honestly just anyone interesting to you. That's what the website's for. And the two most important things you have to do when you send these messages are A, have a specific ask, like if you want to have a call, if you have a specific question about a role that was posted but that wasn't quite clear from the website, and B, make sure that it shows that you've done your research. So make sure that they know why you're reaching out to them specifically and not just that you're trying to grasp at straws and talk to anyone you can. Which may be the case. You can send to upperclassmen, you can send to alumni. I'm actually heading out to a group dinner with an alumni right now. It's for this program I'm in. It's actually an alumni in law, which is not my career path at all. But I'm still going just because you never know where it could lead. And I read his bio, did a little LinkedIn search, saw that he lives in New York with his wife. So it's like, what if his wife is the one I'm meant to be talking to? And it's just, I'm moving to New York after graduation and now I would already have connections in New York.
The distance is unfair, I'm feeling like I'm wasting my time. No actions on repeat to me.
Let me give you some last minute tips. When reaching out to people on LinkedIn, make sure that you have a profile picture. This doesn't have to be the most professional headshot. You do want it to clearly show your face and not be super casual. It's really just so that people feel like they're talking to a real human. Secondly, apply to positions as early as possible. Some companies review chronologically, or they look at the first few and then once they've reached that number of people they're hiring, they don't look at the other applicants. Obviously, this doesn't mean you should sacrifice on quality just to send out an application. Find a good balance. You can start looking for internships or jobs as early as the summer before you want to start. So if you're applying for summer of 2025, you can start looking in summer of 2024. Third, mock interview with your career center or anyone doing the role that you want to do. The reason I didn't say your friends, although that is possible, is because you want something that simulates the experience as much as possible, and you also want to simulate the experience of pressure. Anxiety and things like that can get the best of us, and with your friends I feel like it's lower stakes, so you want to make it as high stakes as possible. Some people ask if LinkedIn Premium is worth it. Yes and no, it's definitely not worth it at the full price, but if you get the free trial, if you get a referral for someone for some few months, over 50% off, definitely use it. It's very beneficial in terms of being able to send more emails and also have more targeted searches. A question people usually ask me is also if they need a cover letter. No, I don't include cover letters. They barely spend time looking at your resume. A cover letter is just even more work. Except a company specifies that they need you to do it. Probably means that they're putting more weight on it, then in that case you probably should. The final step is the interview, but that requires a whole video on its own. So let me know if that's something you'd want to see. If this video gets 1,000 likes, I'll release a comprehensive job searching document with sample interview questions and answers and questions to ask at the end, an Excel spreadsheet to track jobs that you apply for and people that you contact, template of my resume, what I say in networking emails and LinkedIn messages that gets me a response. Just a very comprehensive package. Thank you for watching this. I hope this was helpful. I also hope you liked the vlog style format. It's something new I'm trying out. This is my first time, so bear with me. It definitely wasn't as smooth as I expected, and today was also a very busy day. I may have picked the wrong day to film, but I already started and I just wanted to go through with it. Please don't forget to subscribe and like and comment your thoughts, comment any other tips you have, comment any questions you have.